everybody. I'm gonna see, make sure the chat stuff's on correctly. So if anybody starts chatting, we see that. Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody is good on this Taco Tuesday. It is November 26th. Holy cow, I can't believe we're at the end of November. It's been quite a year this year. I don't know about y'all. It's been quite a few past years. But to those of us that don't stop, keep going. And to good coffee. So I'm gonna give it a minute, since we actually have had sort of a reputation of having people in here with us in the morning. That's really cool that people get up and spend their morning with us. That's pretty awesome. The let's see, it's 5:49 here in Alabama. 5:49 a.m. We are the Resistance. Good morning, my man. How are you? I'm going to talk about a little purchase I made. What was it? Saturday, off of Facebook Marketplace that you may like. A few dudes are gonna like. Women will probably, well, some women will probably be like my wife was, like, do you really need anything else? But I'm like, yes, I do need more gear. So I bought a lot of military stuff. Just had a bunch of pouches, a couple of military sleep bags, compression bags, a rucksack, old ACU pattern. Had the frame, everything's intact. Even had, and I honestly didn't buy it for this. I was actually after the sleep systems, because those things, I don't know how many people realize this, but for years since I've gotten out of the military, I should have kept my sleep system and just let them charge me. But I was like, no, I ain't gonna pay them anything for anything. And so when I got out, turned all my stuff back in. But every year I've always been like, I'm gonna pick me up a military sleep system. And I remember when I first got out, you could get the 4-piece system for like 90 to 120 bucks. I would not buy it. I'm like, that is too much money. I'm gonna wait for it to come down. Well, long story short, nowadays those damn things are $200 for in pretty used condition, to $300 to $400 in decent condition. If you want one brand new, it's nearly $500. So good economic choice by me, I guess. Not really. But anyway, this lot had a couple of sleep systems, so I was like, well, I'm gonna get that, because I really want those. Turns out it wasn't the complete sleep system, but it did have, one had the summer bag in it, one had the winter bag, and a whoopee, which I miss my whoopee. And anyway, with everything that came with it, I was happy. But I got an entire IOTV interceptor set with soft armor that actually had the growing pad, the butt pad, and both shoulder pad. Like, the thing was complete. Anywho, I may sell that. I don't know. I don't need it. So if anybody needs something like that, I guess hit me up. Probably won't be super cheap, but it may not be as much as a lot of people charge either. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I love them things. That was some really cool stuff, because when I went through basic, let me think. When we went through basic, we were using the older system where it went together like this, the whole vest, and then the armor, and then we would put our LBV over that. So that's how it was. Yeah, I mean, and this dude, I asked him, I was like, all right, bud, so how'd you come across this stuff anyway? Because I don't, like, if it's someone that was in the guard or something, I'm kind of leery of that, because I'm like, you're going to get in trouble if you're selling, like, gear, because you don't know, like, if they got out and it's been accounted for or what, so. But this guy, he said his brother-in-law renovates houses, and he said, you know, whatever people leave behind. So anyway, he said at the time he was doing a lot more camping, and the brother-in-law just gave him, or offered him everything, because of those sleeping bags. And he said he never even used them. So I was like, okay. And it's so funny. There is so much crap that I don't use. I need to put on Facebook Marketplace. But anywho, I am happy. It was one of the things in it was an entire military IFAK, which is funny. And this is a little bit older one. Whoever got this, it was not long after I got out too, because it's got the same North American Rescue Cat Gen 4 tourniquet. That's the same tourniquet I had. There's been a few changes since then on the tourniquets. But if you want to see a military, this is what they gave us. You got the MPA over here. I think this is just gloves. Yep, gloves. Tape. A 4-inch compression bandage. And some gauze. And of course your tourniquet. And I guess one reason I'm showing you this is the Minuteman IFAK that I sell, I'd rather carry than this. Like, that's how I make my stuff. The one thing that the Minuteman IFAK don't have that you can, I'm actually going to make that a thing today, that you can add on, is an MPA and chest seals. It's going to, of course, add some money if you want to add that, but it fits in the bag fine. Like, here's the Minuteman IFAK. You got two gauze, two compressed gauze. I like having the shears. That's a big deal to me. Obviously gloves, tourniquet, Slishman pressure wrap. That's your pressure bandage. If there's a lot of bleeding involved, you put gauze up under that and then wrap. Put gauze and pressure on that wound, then wrap. If it's not horrible, you can probably control it with just the Slishman and keep the gauze, not waste it. So, but yeah, chest seals fit in this bag just fine. And let me find my chest rig, and I'll show you mine, how I've got it set up, because I really like it. So this one's mine, and as you can see, I got the chest seals and an MPA right here with the lube in there. So there you go, and it all fits. I need to do more, I guess, an in-depth video on that. I got some cool medical content gonna be coming soon. I've got help now. My nephew has volunteered and start helping me, so that's really cool. FX, we got FX ready to roll, guys. Yep, this one's ready to go. The customer, the camo ones, I'm putting this patch on, and then the red ones, I'm putting the regular patch on. But yeah, got her cool. And too, right now, the Black Friday, that's something I want to talk to you guys about. Is so right now for Black Friday, where's that boo-boo bag? I don't know where it went. I had one sitting here. Free patch and a boo-boo bag with orders over $50. Guys, I know a lot of people do like 40% off and 25% off. And this is probably a dumb part on my end, but no joke. Thank you, brother. Resistance said, looking forward to seeing more medical info. That's a weak point for me. Yeah, it is it was for me for a long time, man. Like, I learned the battlefield first responder in the military, and I got out, and I'm thinking, in my mind for years, I thought, man, I learned that for combat. Like, I'm not gonna need that now that I'm back home, right? And 2020 was when I opened my eyes to just how really jacked the world is, I guess, and how fragile we actually are, especially when we're not taking the necessary steps to be a little more self-reliant. I don't know if you guys can hear, those chickens are going crazy. I ain't fed them yet, but I usually feed them after the sun comes up. But anywho, anyway, that 2020 really put me on this journey. And then I started doing more training. I went out and got training at Tactical Response, which I really, really liked them, and a few local places. And here we are, guys. Here we are. I just wanted to offer kind of, I don't know, something more for people. And then like the medical stuff, like there's nowhere local to buy this kind of medical stuff, like trauma, tactical stuff. I mean, or even learn really TCCC, like 90% of places, like you got to be law enforcement or something. And I'm thinking, I digress on that. But, you know, normal people need to have access to this. If they're willing and want to do it, there should be availability to that type of training. So, I mean, sue me if you want to, but, and I work with law enforcement dudes, like our sheriff and them, they're good dudes. I love those guys, but there are some in other towns around here. There's douchebags, and they're like, people don't need to be, I don't know, getting that kind of training, Minuteman training. They don't need to be thinking they're some kind of soldier. Well, I'm sorry, dude. If something happened in this country, if some Ukraine stupid mess happened in this country, guess what? We are all soldiers, whether you like it or not. So, and we're probably the ones that would be saving their tail. That's cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, man, I loved my medics in the military. See, I was just an infantryman, went through the battlefield first responder, and that's kind of it. And when I went through, it was in depth. Like, I think I may have told y'all, we learned to give IVs to each other. I had to give one to myself, and then I had to give one to another guy, or start an IV. But it was in depth. You know, you go through the decompression needle training, different areas you can, and that is something that's in my kits, my big kits, the FX, and I don't recommend that if you don't know how to use it, but you also should have it. And honestly, that's a good reason to seek that kind of training. Like, there's nothing wrong with going to learn that. But if you don't know how to use it, like if you just watch a YouTube video, don't, like, those would kill somebody. Don't do that. And just, hell, I mean, MPA too, that could hurt somebody if you didn't really know what you're doing. But it's in there. You should have it. God forbid someone need this stuff and not have it. Because, like you just said, military vets, those guys are floating around out there. They're honestly probably more than you think. And who's to know if you're trying to help someone, you know, after a car accident or, God forbid, a shooting. Who's to know one may pull up to help you, be like, hey, what can I do? And they know how to use all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess the name up. BS321. Good morning. Hope you're doing well on this Taco Tuesday. Coffee is good this morning. But yeah, I try to have my FFACs stacked. Like, I especially trauma-wise, there's a boo-boo bag in there too for the minor stuff, and those come in handy. I'd use the boo-boo bag more than anything. But I definitely try to give people, I guess, more, more than they need. That's my philosophy. I want you to like have overkill of stuff. That way, if the worst can't, like, I include 2 tourniquets. Not everybody actually. I don't know if anybody does out of their base kit. For me, it's 2 tourniquets because you don't know. So I want you to have minimum 2 emergency blankets, 2 sets of gloves. And it's got 3 compressed gauze now. Yeah, decompression needle, marker, twin pack of vented chest seals, MPA 28 French, tape plate, 4 or 5 feet of duct tape, the shears, the actually heavy duty, really good shears with a carabiner, all that good stuff. So, man, we just been sitting here talking about gear this whole time. It's been 16 minutes, 17, almost 17. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Because remember, we can talk about anything. Man, I really appreciate that, BS321. So the shooting portion was pretty good. All right, we are the resistance. Going to get to his chickens and rabbits. Is there a link? Yeah, it's going to take me a minute to put it in here. How do I put something in the chat? Let's see if I can anyway. I don't know if I can or not, dude. I tell you what, when we get off of this, I'm going to put a link to my website in the comments and the description when we get off of this. So when you swing back by later on, you can check it out. Okay, if that's okay. Because the way, like, I'm using my phone, and I don't see where it's giving me an option to delete or like do chat stuff, which is kind of weird. I see where I can see y'all's. What is that button? I'm scared to hit that button. I don't know what that button does. But anyway, I will leave links as soon as we get off this. That's cool. And I'm sorry for being so, like, not tech savvy. So, alright, man, I appreciate that. You are the man and the resistance. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, we did the so the CF1, that backpack video, posted yesterday. Tomorrow's video is going to be the initial thoughts on that little guy. That's the Bear Creek 102. And then Friday, the shooting portion of that video is posted. Did 100 rounds. It's good. Like, touche on them. They did pretty good. And everybody, like, I've seen reviews on it too. I guess it's just different when you get to, experience that yourself. So we're going to be doing more content. We're going to be turning this into a Minuteman rifle. I am waiting on a back plate, the QD end plate thing that goes on the lower receiver. that the castle nut holds on that thing for a QD point, because Bear Creek sent me a sling and some sights. I told them what I'm going to be doing. I said, I'm going to put this rifle through a lot. I plan on basically going to make it like a Minutemen rifle. I'm going to do some Minutemen videos. And I said, I plan on using that one because I think it's a good option for dudes that, you know, are working their tail off, that probably don't have Daniel Defense money or whatever. So I love when I can show people something that's affordable and it works. You know, that's a big deal. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it through even more paces. It did good though on the first 100. And speaking of chickens, after I feed the chickens, we're gonna cook some eggs this morning, and that'll be a good breakfast. How many people? Let's see. I was gonna say how many people was on like the, what do they call it, Thanksgiving break, whatever, this week. Probably everybody should be, because it's Thanksgiving this week. It's weird. I remember being young, they would like split that. They'd do the end of the week, like for Thanksgiving, then sometimes like a Monday and Tuesday. It's crazy. I don't know what's wrong with school systems and how they decide all that. Like, just do the week of, or the days of. Be done with it. Alright. We're getting thin this morning, guys. Looks like everybody's heading to work, because we're back down to just a couple in the chat. And it's about time for me to go to work. I've recently bought a Bear Creek 300 Blackout, 300 rounds, so no problem. Yeah, man. 300 Blackout's a hot round. That's a hot round. But yeah, that's I think they're good to go, honestly. I still want to do some more. I want to get a 20-inch something from them, 5.56, because I got a chronograph, and I want to do muzzle velocity tests and like show people the difference and how much muzzle velocity you lose when you start dropping down. On barrel length. Like, people do not realize that. They do not. And everybody's always comparing it, and it gets on my nerves. They always go back to like the special operations dudes that run the 10.5s, 11.5, 12.5, 13, whatever. And you know, so many people don't stop and think. And I'm talking about 5.56, by the way. Like, your 300 Blackout, you can make that thing a 7.5 inch and be good to go. But 5.56 guns, you know, people use like what special ops dudes did and think, I don't know, that it's got some kind of magic voodoo to it that's gonna allow you to make hits at range, and good ranges. And I hate to tell people, I'm like these dudes are using what they're using for a very, very specific task. As in, they know who and where they're shooting before they shoot. Does that make, like, you know what I mean? And people like us, like civilians, you know, when we're building a rifle, especially for self-defense, Minutemen stuff, whatever. We don't know who or where we will be if we ever need that rifle. We don't know. And that's why you will see me typically. I do have a 10.5-inch rifle, or pistol, whatever the ATF calls it this week. But typically I'm going to have a 16-inch because of the ballistics. Because I know very, very well that all the way out to 400 yards, I can hit a target and very much hurt it. And yeah, weapons are mission based. And see, and that's my point there. Like, as a Minuteman, what's your mission? Do you know if you'll be in your house when you have to use it, or if you're going to be on the backside of your pasture? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know? How do you know? We don't. So give me the most capability. Like think about the worst case scenario. What would be the most distance you would have to? You know, okay. If I see coyotes going towards my cows 400 yards away, I want to be able to kill that coyote before it gets to my cows in the next pasture over. Okay, that could be the longest shot I would make. Okay, you need that capability. Don't just think, well, I can see 100 yards that way from my house or whatever, and think, well, that's all I need then. But I don't know. Anyway, what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a dude on the internet. But I do strongly recommend people, like, think about that more. There's a rifle setup video I started and I'm not finished it. I'm probably just gonna start over on it. It's it's gonna offend people. Like, people get butthurt about that kind of stuff, but I really don't care. And like the red dots, like your optics setups and things like that, man, people get touchy. People get crazy. And all my guns, I'll tell you this right now, all my guns have mil-spec triggers on them. I ain't done squat to the triggers. I ain't done nothing. And guess what? They're all deadly accurate. So when dudes start telling me that they had to put a different trigger in it, I'm just like, I don't know, man. You probably could have come train with me for a couple of days and probably saved money. But triggers are nice. I will say, I see it if you're doing like a long range, like a for real long range rifle. I definitely see a trigger in that. But yeah, and that's something people take out of context. When y'all hear me give opinions and things like that, I'm just talking about a base rifle. Like, if you had one rifle, one. This is, you know what I mean? That's how I set my stuff up. I'm like, because, who knows, one day, if you had to grab one, you can't grab, multiple. You're going to grab one. So, anyway. Alright, guys. We've talked about gear and guns. And I guess it's kind of a good thing. Yes. Yes, if it ain't broke, why fix it? That's a good point. That's something, man. I agree. I 100% agree. 100% agree. If it ain't broke, sometimes it's us we need to work on. Sometimes it's us. Especially when it comes to shooting. But, hey, quick opinion, BS321. You think I should run straight irons on this one for the Minutemen setup? I honestly thought about just doing irons. Just showing people how accurate you can be with just irons. I was thinking about not even putting a red dot on it. Irons, you ain't gotta worry about batteries dying. And two, trying to just, because a lot of dudes that like can't afford a red dot or whatever, like, I don't know, don't feel bad about that. It's not a big deal. It's not that big of a deal. Hell, I think I did the qualification course with irons and expert. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that big a deal. So anyway, but yeah, I was wondering opinion on that. That's what I think. I may just do irons at first. We may throw a red dot on it later on, or like throw that one back on or something later on. I just threw that one on there to get us zeroed so I can show you guys, and that's a very good optic setup. It's I said it in the video, but it's that Unity tactical mount and the Vortex Spark Solar. It's a really good optic. I've had that optic for several years. It's been on every gun at some point. I don't know why that's not dedicated to something, but I don't know. We may dedicate it to that one. But yeah, I'm not in a hurry today because the girls ain't got school. There's no school this week. But I still gotta go feed the chickens and stuff. And then I want to finish up. I'm going to add a drop-down menu on the Minutemen IFAKs. Well, I probably need to wait till the, yeah, I'll wait. I got more chest seals and decomp needles and MPAs coming. So I'll probably wait till those get in. But anywho, gonna be having a drop-down menu to the Minutemen IFAK, I believe. Thinking that's what I may want to do. And we'll add at least an MPA. So, alright. I'm gonna jump off here myself. And we're going to get going for the day. Because it is 6:20 now. So, it's time to crank it up and go. 6:20 in Alabama. So, anywho. Guys, everybody that dropped in this morning, I know most of you are gone now. I still appreciate you for stopping by, having some coffee with me, saying good morning, all that good stuff. And, hey, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, because there's a video coming out tomorrow. And you guys be good. Eat some tacos tonight. Remember, it's Taco Tuesday. God gave us tacos to enjoy, so go get some tacos. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'll see you Friday morning, bright and early, with some coffee in hand. We'll talk about some more stuff. Hopefully there won't be any bad news in the world to talk about. It'll just be fun stuff. So, anywho, guys, take care. Love you. Appreciate you. If you need some medical or radio stuff, please head over preparedcitizenstg.com. Check it out. Pick some up. There will be, as soon as we get off here, I'm going to put in the comments and description a link to the website if you want to check it out. So, again, guys, thank you so much. God bless every one of you. Hope y'all have a good Taco Tuesday.